Hello and welcome to a very special historic episode of Sports Entertainment Weekly Football. Historic, not because any of us here in the stream went and did something, but we are going to talk about something historic. That is Xabi Alonso and Bayer Leverkusen, who ended Bayern Munich's 10 or 11-year monopoly in the Bundesliga title race, and they claimed their first ever title yesterday. Obviously, a really happy moment for all of football, except for two people. One, of course, Harry Kane, who switched countries and still came up short, and two, Kingsley Coman, who did a fine job of winning a National League trophy every year until Harry Kane came along based on the looks of it. But before we get into the episode, we also have an important anecdote to share from BS. We'll start off with that and then he can go off on his assessment that he has been wanting to do for a while.
On it. Once upon a time, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, Bayern Munich bid some round about some 40 million for this Chelsea academy product by the name Callum Hudson-Odoi. And although I have been following Chelsea keenly back then, I saw no particular reason for a club like Bayern Munich to chase so desperately for a player like Callum Hudson-Odoi, who had barely played for Chelsea senior team, and they were desperate to sign him. It eventually ended up in Chelsea offering him a lucrative contract, which later time proved that he did not deserve. So this was an anomaly for me. So I followed up on this player closely, and his career did not take off at Chelsea, and then he moved on a loan to Bayer Leverkusen in Germany. And I just followed this player only to see if at all somebody in Bayern Munich scouting team saw something that the rest of us did not. I just wanted to see if there was any hope of us offloading this player for any reasonable transfer market. Not exactly what Bayern bid him for, but something, anything close to 10, 15 million. So I wanted to monitor his progress personally, and that's when I started following Bayer Leverkusen in the 2022 season when he was on loan there. Fast forward 2 months into the season, Leverkusen are absolutely bad, absolutely shit. There is nothing going their way. The team is completely all over the place. It's terrible. And after some first 10 matches, they find themselves in the relegation zone, second or third from bottom, if I remember correctly. Hudson Odoi has done nothing to surprise me. And unsurprisingly, again, the Bayern Munich, the Leverkusen coach gets fired, and he's replaced by a very handsome and popular ex-footballer who is a World Cup and two-time Euro winner, Champions League winner. He needs no introduction, Xabi Alonso. But the fact is that the person who needed no introduction was Xabi Alonso, the player. His achievements, his game, it speaks for itself. But he came as a manager with absolutely nothing in his resume to show for. And that is where the story started. And now, just 1.5 years later, he has led the club Bayer Leverkusen to its first ever Bundesliga win in around 120 years of the club's existence. And my God, what a way to do it! Now that is where we start our discussion today. It is impossible. It was never supposed to happen. It is almost close to what Leicester did in PL. And let's take no shine away from what Leverkusen has achieved. Absolutely historic. Now over to you, Charlie. You have been following the sport and you've been following the team over in here. Did you see this happen when you started watching Bundesliga earlier this year in August?
No, to be honest, absolutely not. Like, let me just reiterate what you just said. When Xabi Alonso was appointed as the Bayer Leverkusen coach in October 2022, if I'm not wrong, his second game in charge, he was battered 5-1 by Eintracht Frankfurt, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so Xabi Alonso looked very dejected in that game. The Bayer Leverkusen players were on the pitch almost brought down to tears. Florian Wirtz was on his knees, like, how is this team going to lift itself up? How is this team going to go at least at the top end of the table to at least compete for the Europa League and Champions League stages? When in the yesteryears, in the yesterdays, in the year 2001 and 2002, they were like Champions League runner-ups in the heydays of their peak football. So, like, going back, I literally didn't envision Xabi Alonso winning the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen. Coupled that with Harry Kane coming into the Bayern Munich team, I thought the Bundesliga the Bundesliga title was
Was
done and
settled.
dusted for was settled and done and dusted for the next 4 to 5 years. Just
Yeah.
that, like Harry Kane used to smash 30 goals, and even in the Premier League, he's going to smash like 40 to 50 goals in the Bundesliga.
It was
Forget
supposed
the
to be a
Bundes,
formality.
yeah,
No,
like
I
other
think he
teams,
has the goals.
like
The point is he has joined a declining side. Even the last season,
Sangeet, your
if
mic went
Dortmund
off,
didn't
sir.
fuck up, oh sorry, if Dortmund didn't mess up, I mean, it was for taking. Bayern Munich were really bad last season as well. Post, your who was that? Who was the manager? Julian Nagelsmann. Post Nagelsmann are really bad.
yeah,
So
yeah, even during
yeah,
Nagelsmann,
good time.
yeah, exactly. Like Dortmund and Bayern went head to tail, like head to head with their wins going. The title race was up to the final match day, and then Borussia Dortmund in their
They
like
messed up. I mean,
usual fashion, they bottled up. Like their star by Jude Bellingham didn't even play, and they bottled up. So yeah,
correct. So I think
I just
it
want
comes to you can't win 50 seasons at a once. They have won 12 seasons, 12, 11, 11, 12 seasons. They have won 12
yeah,
seasons at a once.
11,
11.
11,
I think
11. Yeah.
it's healthy. It's healthy for a league to have different winners. If the league doesn't have different winners, then there's no point. And
Charlie
I
and
think
Sanket, in order to combine two things that you both have respectively said. Charlie said that there was he did not see Bayern Leverkusen winning the Bundesliga at the start of the season. Sanket also mentioned how Bayern Munich were steadily declining over the course of the last season. You combine, put that into picture. I can very honestly say, and you can even verify this with Kriska. After having up close witnessed how the team changed under Xabi Alonso in his first season, he did not only take them away from relegation season, but towards the end of the season, end of his first season, they were on an unbeaten streak, and it was not just unbeaten in the sense they were edging away with victories or barely avoiding defeat. The matches, they were in control of majority of the matches that they played towards the end of the season, and there was a rise that was very clearly visible. And I can very honestly say, after the transfer business that they did in the summer, and after witnessing their first 4 games in August, we had discussed in our football group internally with Kriska. And by then, okay, I did not make a bold claim wherein I said Leverkusen are lifting the Bundesliga, but we made a discussion where we said it won't be far fetched to say that Leverkusen might
That one's
be title
totally
contender.
on me. We should have done this
Yeah,
episode 6 months back, and they would have called you a genius,
still,
and we
Yeah.
still,
put it off and put it off until we are just one
no,
of
no, no.
the thousand.
What you're missing is that even when I said that, I said it with a lot of caution. I did not proclaim that okay, Leverkusen are going to win the Bundesliga. I said it might not be far fetched to say that they might be title contenders. I still don't say that they would be winning it because the team was improving and it was clearly evident. But what Xabi Alonso did was that the improvement did not just stop after his first season, towards the end of his first season, in the summer market, or in this season. During the 18 20 months where Alonso has managed the team, they have steadily improved. And even during this season, during their title run, and during their Europa League campaign, they have been steadily yet slowly progressing and getting better and better. They have been steadily refining. Now, one thing I want to highlight is also the support that has been given to Xabi Alonso by the management, because Bayer Leverkusen obviously not a club with finances the size that can compete with Bayern Munich, but I think they did some incredible transfer business in the summer, chiefly getting Granit Xhaka and then Hoffman from
Hoffman.
Gladbach.
Yeah. Gladbach.
Charlie, I'm sure you would like to speak about Shaka's impact on the club overall. You might have watched him up close during your EPL days, being on the other side of the fence, as
Yeah.
you.
Yes. So yeah, I would like I have a couple to 3 points to make. So like highlighting Xhaka's impact at Bayer Leverkusen, he's been the pivot, or he's been the central point around which the playmaking has been done at Bayer Leverkusen. As Jeremy Frimpong satirically remarked yesterday that you left Arsenal and then you came and won a title here. So it highlights how Arsenal's free-flowing play was at when he was in Arsenal, and how tactically adept his play has been when he arrived at Bayern Munich, and how Xabi Alonso has like how to say it has molded him into that captain material even at Bayer Leverkusen, even more when he was in Arsenal. So after this, I would really like to make a remark on Xabi Alonso. So as you said, reiterating your point, Bayer Leverkusen are now at a 43 game unbeaten streak across the leagues, equaling Juventus' unbeaten record of 43 games unbeaten in the heydays of 25, 6, 7 seasons, if I'm not wrong. Okay, yeah.
Hey,
So
Charlie, I
yeah,
have a
I
question
mean, I
here.
think,
Yeah,
yeah,
go
please.
ahead.
No, no, I was just adding to Charlie's point here. Zaka was not a very good captain when he was in Arsenal. He
Yep.
yeah,
only got out of his wing when he was given that freedom. At Bayer
exactly.
Leverkusen, I think he has a very clear role. He has a clear role
He was
of,
also booed by Arsenal fans, Granit
a
Xhaka,
Exactly.
lot of
twice.
times. A lot of
Yeah.
times. Zaka was the black
But
sheep.
I think by the time he left, he really turned it around. The
Yeah.
fans
Yeah, he
really
He
bought
turned
had
in
it
him.
around.
begun
He
to
was a
turn it
really good
around by
one.
the time he left.
And I remember the match, it was Euros or World Cup. I don't remember. Zaka played a master class. I think it was for his nation. I don't think I'm
For
remembering
Switzerland, yeah.
correctly. Yeah, for
Yeah, I think he had
Switzerland,
a fantastic World Cup
he
campaign.
played a typical masterclass versus a very similar midfielder or opposition as well. I'm not remembering correctly. That was a turning point. That was the moment we realized, Zaka is still world class. He's a world class player. But then in Arsenal, he was always put in a different position which is not suitable to him. A playing style is not suitable to him. So Xavi Alonso got him. He's like, okay, I know what you do. I know what you don't do. I'm going to give you what you do the best.
Yeah.
He has put him in that role and he's succeeding. Similar
Sanket,
to yes, Florian.
you just played the role of Xabi Alonso, and you said, "I'm going to let you do what you do the best." I just want to borrow
Exactly.
your words because that is exactly what he has done with the rest of the squad, not just Granit Xhaka.
Exactly. Not telling you that.
Because
Look at
if
Florian
you look
Wirtz.
at
He
it,
knows.
yeah, exactly. And also look at Frimpong, for example, because
Yeah.
Jeremy Frimpong for the past several seasons, it was very clear that this guy was an attacking gem at a right back, but he was not exactly the most positionally secure or one-on-one. Did not have the
He
same
was very
one-on-one
raw. The
ability.
potential was
He,
always there. I
no,
remember
This,
Barca were
this
tracking him
no.
for a
It
long
was
time.
not just that he was very raw. It was also the fact that he was occasionally mainly used as a right back, although he was given the freedom to attack mostly. What Alonso changed primarily was Alonso came in and, like Sanket said, he made Shaka do exactly what he was good at, which is anchor the midfield, conduct the play, and also put in the hard yards and tackles when required. But for Frimpong, Alonso, he marked it out very early that he was not going to have Frimpong in a defensive right back or even a right back level of duty. He changed the system. He bought in a variation of 3-4-3. It's very hard to exactly say the nuances of a formation just on three numbers, but let's call it 3-4-3 for understanding's sake. And in this particular 3-4-3 formation, when once he brought in Alex Grimaldo into the team, what Alonso had was two wing backs who are excellent at attacking. Like, they can create, they're going to bombard the flank. They love overlapping, and on occasions when you have a convert, Xabi Alonso has also used the conventional winger. Frimpong also has the ability to underlap and get into the box, get directly into the box when the play is on the left side and score goals. So he made use of both these fullbacks' ability. He recognized that, okay, they are not going to play right back and left back. Their main ability is to attack, and I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to make them do what they're good at, while at the same time taking some responsibility off their shoulders by playing a three-man defense at the back. You can say it might be similar to something like what Antonio Conte used to do, but then even then there are subtle differences in
no,
the
it's what
sense.
Antonio Conte, it's what Ancelotti does. What
It's what Ancelotti is, yeah.
Yeah, its philosophy is, I have my star players. I know what they can do the best. I am going to make the game in such a way. I'm going to make my tactics such a way that my individuals can thrive. That
And
was
that is,
Xavier Florian Wirtz. He's giving a free
but
roll.
then
Until
Sanket, I
last
think there
season,
is a
we know he
fine,
was
there has to be a fine balance between letting your players express themselves and at the same time ensuring that
absolutely.
the system stays in place, and that I
We
think
have
is
to we
what
have to
Alonso
post the
got correct.
11. What happens is you have your start like Florian Wirtz was a promising talent for the last 3 years.
Absolutely.
This season, Xabi Alonso told me, okay, fine, I have everything around you. You are given this middle space, you are given this white space. What can you do there? And my God, has he performed?
Yeah, like
He
he has
has
hit like 33 goals and assists in all competitions, if I'm not wrong. He
Yeah.
has like bursted onto the scene this season. Like
It's similar.
BS,
Like,
like,
they are not.
yeah,
I mean, he's not telling you know तुम कुछ भी कर लो. Like you do whatever you want. He's
yeah,
telling you, okay, fine. This is my plan. This is my tactics. This is my team, and you have this space. If you have
Yeah, within
Florian
this
Wirtz,
frame, you are allowed to be yourself.
you are allowed to do whatever you
I
want to do.
I have a question for you guys. Leverkusen this year and
yeah.
Monaco in that monster season where they won the league, they had this fantastic group of players. Do you
I
see
got your
a lot
question,
of
but I'll wait for you
parallels
to
on?
complete.
I
I
know,
mean, no,
literally
they're a bit
everybody
different.
else got an upgrade when they
Yeah.
purchased. I know how it went for Chelsea, but that bias aside, do you think there is a fair reason to compare these two teams, or do you think uh,
No,
the
no, no. I think
Leverkusen
this
team might
Leverkusen
also fizzle out in the years to come?
it will fizzle
I think
out.
the
Why?
comparison is
Because
unfair.
they're going to. I mean, people are going to come and buy their best players. That's going to happen. They will fizzle out. But then the tactics they have shown, the resolve they have shown. I mean, this is something we have not seen before. It's not Leverkusen. It's all Leverkusen. They are no more Leverkusen. But
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, this is
Priska,
something else.
I think one prime factor would be as talented as Florian Wirtz and Co are. They were not stacked in terms of potential like the Monaco team was. Monaco team had on an individual level players at a far higher
Ceiling.
caliber.
Bernardo Silva, Kylian Mbappe,
Bernardo Silva,
Bernard.
Kylian Mbappe, Falcao that season, Simon
Yeah,
Kjaer, Dribble Sidibe. They also had
Kamil, Kamil Glik, Kamil
uh,
Glik,
Kamil
yeah,
Glik,
yeah.
the left
Kamil
back who's
Glik,
in jail right
left back.
now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah,
it's also
And,
like most
and
of
they
the
also had a
Monaco.
world class midfielder. Who was that? I'm
Timothy
blanking on.
Bakayoko, if I'm not wrong. Bakayoko. You all
oh no,
forgot.
let's
Yeah,
not
the
go there.
Fabinho.
You all forgot that legend,
Fabinho, they
Chelsea's
had
legend.
Fabinho.
Fabinho, they had Bakayoko too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have Fabinho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
go
like,
So
ahead,
it was a
please.
stacked team. So it was, I
yeah,
would say, moreover the individuals that I mean, no credits taken away from the manager or the team, but the potential was way more high. Bayer Leverkusen, I would say, are way more refined than Monaco. Monaco, they blew hot and cold occasionally, and since they blew more often hotter than cold, they got the results.
Right.
But Bayer
Maybe
Leverkusen, they
Leicester
have
is
that
more.
machine-like
I mean,
efficiency
I'm
in
going
it.
to make a comparison here. The comparison is with if Bayern is going to be invincible this season, we are going to compare them with Arsenal. Arsenal had 12 draws in the invincible
no, no,
season.
no, no.
I had
But
Leverkusen today is no draw only, bro. They are playing the pure football we have ever seen.
yeah, that invincible comparison is unfair. Like Arsenal had 12 draws, if I'm not wrong. Bayer Leverkusen have
Yeah,
4 draws till now in their entire season. So
exactly.
the
Yep.
comparison is unfair. Well,
They have won
this is a
everything. They have like
this is a
no
pure invincible
drawing.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
no
did.
drawing bullshit.
Yeah, they didn't fluke anybody by taking like half the draws in
No,
the whole season. Arsenal. Yeah. So, like we as like you were saying, the Frimpong stuff and how Jonathan Tah, and I would like to add some points here. Jonathan Tah and Lucas Radecki have been the pillars of the Bayer Leverkusen team for the past 6 to 7 years. Like the
local
reason
boys.
why they, yeah, like literally almost the local boys. The reason why they've been the pillars and how Jeremy Frimpong and guys like Nathan Tella and Alex Grimaldo, and I know you have a chapter to say on Alex Grimaldo. Let us come back to that. Is that Xabi Alonso has been always a more prodigious coach and a more filtered coach according to the already legends that are outside there. Because
Yes,
in 2019, if you would have seen a video, Mourinho would have remarked like
Mourinho. Yeah.
Xabi Alonso would make a really good coach than any other coaches out there because Xabi Alonso's father was a coach of football team. He was a
He
player.
played under.
Xabi Alonso played under all the elite coaches almost in
Yeah,
football.
he played under Mourinho. He played under
Mourinho,
Benitez in Liverpool.
Benitez, Vicente Del
Ancelotti,
Guardiola.
Bosque, Vicente
Vincente
Del
Del
Bosque,
Bosque, Pep
Guardiola at
Guardiola.
Bayern,
Pep Guardiola, all the coaches
Guardiola
he
at
played
Bayern.
under, and he is able to take all the tactics that they have inculcated in him, and he's able to mold it to every other game that he has orchestrated so far. So that is why he's been able to play so fluidic football and attacking football against any team that he like you put in front of him.
Yeah. And this also raises another question, Charlie, because
Yeah,
it is obvious, it's very clear to all of us that central to Bayer Leverkusen's title campaign has been very much their manager, Xabi Alonso. And
exactly.
it is also reasonable to expect that at some point, Xabi Alonso, if not already, will outgrow the club. Bayer Leverkusen is not exactly the ceiling of his ambitions, and there is a
Yes.
question as to where. And Xabi Alonso will obviously have no short of suitors, and there are also glorious historic clubs where he has given provided his services as a player who would love to have him back. So, what is the anticipation, Charlie Sanket?
You
We
know what
obviously
I
have
think?
two front runners, but is it Real?
I think Alonso is waiting for the Real Madrid job. It's a more
Yep.
What
convenient
about
one
you, Charlie?
because
I
Because
I
we
need
are not
to.
going to ignore the fact that Liverpool have announced the departure
Okay.
of
Yeah.
Jurgen
Yeah, yeah,
Klopp.
Jurgen
but then again, I
But
think there is a problem, right? I think Alonso was also coach of Real Madrid B team when he
Yeah.
left for Bayern Leverkusen. First thing, second thing,
uh,
So
I think he was there
currently the
during
Spanish
his
league
licensing period.
no. He was at Real Sociedad's
was
B
the
team, not
B
Real Madrid's B
It
team.
was Real
I think
Sociedad, not Real Madrid. Yeah.
Sociedad, Real Madrid. Yeah, it's Real Sociedad.
team. Sorry, yeah, the very
Yeah.
started, right? And firstly, he's a Spanish guy. He's
Yeah.
well versed with the language. For him to go to Premier League today to fill a Klopp shoes is going to be a debt. What do you say? A debt warrant he's taking on himself.
Yeah.
It's not the right time. I mean, like we can tell, Xavi Alonso is this guy, that guy, whatever you want. But Premier League is a
Uh,
deathbed for managers, especially for new managers. Look at what happened to
But
Gerrard. Look at what
but
happened to
Sanket, you
Lampard.
also have to keep in mind that it is Liverpool that we are talking about, because this club and this fan
Yeah,
base is
I mean,
known to be fiercely
Xavi
loyal
Alonso
to the
won,
manager whom they hire, and
correct,
they give them
one and
time.
a half year
Klopp in
old.
his first two seasons he delivered nothing, but the fans were always behind him. There were no
He was
questions
delivering.
about
He
his job
delivered a
stability.
style. Klopp fans stuck with Klopp because he delivered a playing style, which was very evident from the first season, from the
Yeah,
first minute, first game he played. That rock and roll football was evident.
and
Very
Xabi Alonso
evident.
has his
After
own brand
match,
of
look at
football.
fans.
I would
Again, as a
expect
Manchester,
Xabi to rock onto Liverpool if he comes and establish his method of football, and there is every chance that the Cope will get behind him on that.
uh, yes. Let me just
no,
cut you
Pop,
there
I think
because
Knowing
So,
Xavi
Charlie,
Alonso, savvy guy he is, right? He's looking to take step by step. I think the next thing he's going to do is
I
join
would
Real
agree.
Madrid, win a couple of
He's not.
Champions League,
He's
take his
definitely been
stature, make his
methodical
life
so far.
good. He's methodical. He's been the whole of his career. He never takes risk. He's always the guy who knows what to do when. He's not going to give you, even as a player, he didn't give you the moments, of magic. He gave moments whenever what is required, he gave. He's a methodological player. He's going to be a methodological manager. I think he's going to go to Real Madrid. That's why he took a 1 year extension with Leverkusen.
In
And then
all
probably Liverpool.
likelihood, he would go to Real Madrid. I do agree with you, but I'm just not yet willing to count out the probability of Liverpool bringing a surprise. And we have to go to our in-house Liverpool fan here. So, Charlie,
yeah. So yes, so I would like to come to this point from a statistic or a frame of reference for a team. Okay. So since you were referencing and comparing the Monaco teams versus the Bayer Leverkusen team, almost okay, and every single player in the Monaco team was a first-time proven guy. Okay, Kylian Mbappe, Fabinho, what to say, Bernardo Silva, Timo Bakayoko,
yeah,
all were first-time
It
provers,
was their breakout season.
breakout season. But unfortunately, in Bayer Leverkusen, everyone had their highs once upon a time. Then they had their lows. Then now they're having a high. Most of the players. Take Jonathan Tah, take Jeremy Frimpong, take Nathan Tella itself, for example. Take Florian Wirtz. He had an ACL injury at the age of 18. He was faltered once upon a time, and then now he's having his high again. So the aftermath of the Monaco team and the Bayer Leverkusen team is going to be totally different, and it is different right now. Considering that most of the Monaco team was sold then, I don't think, like, apart from like maximum of 2 to 3 players, no one from this Bayer Leverkusen team will be sold
yes.
for a very high price to teams like Bayer Leverkusen or Real Madrid, or no one will come knocking at the door.
I think
So
if there's
Yes.
going to be a higher ceiling, it's going to be a Florian Wirtz. I don't see on
yeah,
Alex Rimaldo.
yes. So
Oh,
what
except
I'm
for this, I don't think so.
so
Fun fact, I don't
yeah,
want to miss out what looks like the last opportunity. People are going to bring up Grimaldo. Barca product, one of the
yeah,
finest from La Masia. The only reason he couldn't make it at Barca was we had a prime Ferrari in Jordi Alba. Purely, a matter of luck, he had to go out. So makes me really happy that he has realized his potential. And Words also happens to be a big time Barca fan. If only we fixed
Hey
our
man, hey, this sports entertainment weekly, not Barca entertainment weekly.
if we get our finances in order, we could be looking at our
Oh, that's not
brand.
going to happen.
Like you could be looking at your next Fabregas, literally, to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
correct.
So
Charlie,
So
BS,
already have
please
brilliant
continue the
players
point
going on.
that you were
I don't
making. I mean,
understand Barca fans. The only point out you have Pedri, you have the other people, you have so many
Sanket,
youngsters. But
let's
still,
not get dragged into the Barca whirlpool that
yeah.
Kriska ever so often loves to create. Let's keep the topic on what we're currently discussing is Xabi Alonso. So, Charlie, you were comparing and
Yeah.
marking out differences between the Monaco team being a collection of new youngsters, extremely talented, wanted all over the world, but Bayer Leverkusen, a mix of youth, veterans, and aged people who will not be as much in demand individually as the Monaco stars
Yes.
were, and how that would make a difference. So you can please continue, Charlie.
Yeah. So where I was trying to get at is most of these Bayer Leverkusen players aren't going to be sold to any other elite clubs, or most probably most Xabi Alonso isn't going anywhere, to be honest, to any other team. He's gonna see out his high time at Bayer Leverkusen at least for like 2 to 3 seasons, and where it's gonna go. At least he's going to like try to reach that UCL quarterfinal, semi-final stages with this team as far as he can, and then like luck out, and then tell that I've had my time at Bayer Leverkusen. It's time to try out a very much bigger club that I aspire. So
I'm
I don't
expecting him
see.
to do that in 1 year's time. He has that contract extension, and
Mm, yeah,
I
let's
don't
he's
see.
see
already taken
Xabi
the
Alonso
extension.
staying
He
beyond
told
another
when he's
year.
going
He
to
might
stay for the
stay
next
defend his
season.
title. That's it.
Yes,
He's
what
going to stay for the
like
next season.
yeah, what I'm trying to say is like it's the first. I like we can also consider managers as first season wonders, right? There's no fallacy in that. But let's see what next season he has to offer and how he's going to take his team to a new higher level in the UCLs, and if he's going to go in the annals of history by knocking other giants in the UCL knockout stages, then he's going to be a manager for ages. So I suppose after 2025, at least he's going to come knocking at a much bigger club like Real Madrid, to be honest. But on the flip side, like at the bottom of my heart, I would also like him to try another
Exactly.
challenge, taking up another challenge. Like I was
And Charlie,
saying,
from the bottom of your heart, how would you react if you were to, hypothetical situation, wake up tomorrow to the news that
yeah,
Xabi Alonso will be replacing Klopp in 2025, 2024, 2025 season at Liverpool,
man,
if at all.
Yeah, I just have a Kingfisher beer in my fridge. I'm gonna empty it tomorrow morning as soon as I wake up. Yeah,
See, that's a
yeah, I don't have second thoughts about it if that happens. Yeah,
Uh, I think it's pretty much a done deal, guys. So an opportunity to manage a club like Real Madrid, it doesn't come around often. Uh,
yeah,
Xabi is the perfect person in the sense that he's the closest that they've got to Zidane, right? A former player who was a magician on the pitch. So he has the respect of the current crop because he has played with a few of them. Possibly, I don't know. Real Madrid squad is very
No,
new
no, I think
over
he
the
has not
last.
played with
I
any
mean,
of them. I think there are a
just
couple of
mention.
Real Madrid ex-players. One is Raul. Raul is doing a really good job with Real Madrid B.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
Before
he
that
is.
was Xavi. These couple of folks, I think it's going to warm Perez's pockets. But
And
I think,
if he
yeah,
were
as
to
far
come
as
to Liverpool, I feel like he has the perfect window right now. The fact that he has chosen to
I,
stay at
I
Leverkusen
think
for
one,
a season,
But
for me, that
Priska,
makes a
I would
I
actually agree with
what
Sanket over
Xavi
that.
is
Although
bringing
I
in,
argued with him about it, I think Sabi will not rush in to another big
yeah,
challenge because Klopp, the boots that Klopp will be vacating is not just on the pitch. Klopp has been a huge persona
true, true.
across Merseyside.
it's
He's
like,
more than just their
replacing,
manager. He's their daddy.
he's
No
embodiment of
offense
what
when he's
Liverpool stands for. I mean,
yeah,
you
exactly,
can't just
exactly.
come
He
in. I mean, it
personifies
might
the
be
club.
Xabi Alonso, it can be Zidane, but I think Xabi will take it. I think what happens is now they'll Liverpool get a new manager. 1 year down the line, they want to fire him, and then Xavi is going to be a best option because now you have seen the downfall as well.
May I
That's very
interest in
bold,
another club
very bold prediction.
that is going to hire a manager and fire in another year?
Priska, come on, stop it, please.
Hey
Somebody has
Kriska,
to
your
catch
Xavi
it.
is speaking. Okay, you don't
Yeah,
speak.
like no, Real Madrid do a different level of did a different level of propaganda in the past. You are now doing that same propaganda, Franco propaganda, Barca propaganda. Uh, Stop it. Yeah.
Wow,
Luis
you're
Figo
lucky
kind
you
of.
didn't have Dave on the stream today. Did you
Okay.
just compare my wishful thinking to one of the worst dictators the world has seen? I think
Papa
that's a
Perez.
good note to end
Yeah.
Kriska,
on.
with
Bring
all
it.
due respect, I don't think when we take a list of world's top 10 worst dictators, Franco is not even on the substitute bench. He doesn't even
Substitute
make
bench.
the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. There are like there's Idi Amin in Uganda who's a far more brash dictator than Franco. So like okay, like
Anyway, I
another
think we
episode
are
for
not
So
really
okay,
fleshing
not
out.
dictators ranking
That's a
weekly.
different
yeah, yeah,
episode. I
okay.
think let's
Yeah.
conclude with
I
one thing.
don't think
Xabi
we are very
Alonso is
Yeah.
the
proud of
next
this
big thing.
discourse. None of us
Yeah.
are qualified to give commentary on geopolitics as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That said, let's finish off with this, right? What do you think is a realistic goal for Leverkusen in the coming season? We'll start off with Charlie.
UCL.
Leverkusen, like
I
are
think
obviously, I
being
think,
the
gonna hit the.
Ajax of
Yeah, they're gonna obviously gonna win the DFB Pokal against. It's like it's an open secret, right? It's
I don't
against
think. Yeah, I
in
mean
the
they can do a
DFB
triple
Pokal
here.
final. Yeah, they can
I
do a
think
treble
UCL
and
is
then
going to
shock
be.
the. Yeah, and then
See,
shock the entire world. This
Kriska,
is going to be the most underrated treble if they win the treble.
Kriska, you asked
Yeah,
this
yeah, man.
question to two football educated neutrals, you will get answers like that. You ask this question to somebody who is a Leverkusen, it simply doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They have no goals for next season. They are here. They are
Yeah,
reveling in it. They are just having
Yeah,
a
they are no
blast. They
more
are too
Leverkusen.
they are too euphoric to even care about tomorrow. There is no next season for them as of now. But like what Charlie and Sanket was saying, from a neutral point of view, I would think UCL quarterfinal is extremely possible with the current team and manager that they have, and they would very well want to
I
defend their
mean, we
title
have
because
not
that
had magic in
solidifies their
UCL for
position.
a long time. My point is, we have not had magic in UCL for a long time. The last magic we
yeah.
saw was Porto, Mourinho's Porto.
The thing, Sanket,
I think
if
Xavi is getting
Leverkusen were
closer to
at
it.
all going to roam through UCL, it would not be a case of magic because people might very well be expecting them to perform given what they have achieved this
Yeah, yeah, but
season.
then it's a small club. It's a small club.
It is,
As
yeah,
an
yeah.
opponent, will not see you that they're not coming. Like whatever I have seen from last week, right? It's always the established clubs at the end of the day who are coming and competing. It's the Man Cities, Real Madrids of the world, United of the world.
Yes,
I want to
and
see. I think, yeah.
I think
First
It's
thing,
named
we
United in there.
Slightly
I'm
sneak
sure all
United
of
into
us
there.
will keep a close eye on Leverkusen now that they have pulled off what they have. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time and walking us through a season that I'm pretty sure a lot of us would not have actually cared about, but you people did, and it really showed through in the conversation. And with that, we wish Leverkusen all the luck. And I think if there is also one more person that we want to talk about in terms of wishing them the best, and it's Angry Rantman. I'm sure VS will know him better than any of us in the stream. And based on news, which is very concerning, Angry Rantman is not doing well. Um, Physically, I believe he has had a surgery, and I think it's safe to say he has made football more entertaining for all of us fans at some point in time, be it Chelsea or any other club. And I want to take this moment that we are wrapping off the show to wish him well, right? I think we all want to see
Absolutely.
him come back to normal, even if he's not recording those high pitched videos with a ceiling fan and everything. I really hope he recovers from whatever he's going through. Yeah, thank you for taking your time.
Thank you,
We'll see
everyone.
you in another
Thank you.
episode of Sports Entertainment Weekly.